Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our full spectrum analysis of JADE HELM 15. This is going to be a truly special broadcast that I know you'll enjoy. They say we get the society we deserve, but our future society is going to be much worse than we can possibly imagine. Now, if you've heard of JADE HELM, it's because this map magically appeared on the public scene. Why do you think they released this map to the public in the first place? If you're thinking PsyOps 101, then you're on the right track. They wanted people to argue about the colors on the map, about who's hostile and who's not. They wanted people thinking about conspiracy theories and martial law instead of what JADE HELM is really about. JADE HELM is really about a new command and control structure. The question we should be asking here is, who is in control? And the answer is not who is in control, the answer is what is in control. The JADE in JADE HELM refers to a JADE 2 artificial intelligence program. A program that is running on a supercomputer 10 to 20 years ahead of Tier 1 technology. The reason this operation is called JADE HELM is because JADE 2 is at the helm of this operation. The JADE 2 computer system is calling the shots, and right now they're testing to see how well this new SkyNet can handle the job. This is what we know. JADE 2 began as a communications package / analytical engine that was being plugged into military devices back in 2001 and has now evolved into an AI program that is plugged into every tank, Humvee, jet, helicopter, battleship, into every data farm and into every data fusion center. It's being set up to be at the center of military and civilian intelligence. It's collecting data from every conceivable source, and it's been described as being aware and capable of adapting to the human domain. They are looking to plug this into everything, and they're preparing to implement it. You may have heard that there's a special operations component to JADE HELM that is going to blend in to the population. Well, what they're doing there is they're trying to see how quickly JADE 2 will find them. Again, we're talking about special ops people here, people that are highly trained with inside information as to how this system works. And their goal is to see how well they can evade the system, to see how long it takes for JADE 2 to find them and to successfully neutralize them. That alone should tell you what we're up against. Based on the highly sanitized technical papers that are in the public domain, the JADE 2 system is able to register emotion and calculate intent based on our direct and passive interactions with technological devices, and it's capable of rewriting its very own programming to adapt to human activity. That means it can learn, and that its intelligence isn't artificial. It's self-sufficient and self-aware. It boggles the mind, and it's everything we'd expect a SkyNet to be. What you buy with a debit card, the pitch of your voice on a phone, what you say while you're watching TV, what you erase before you post it on Facebook, the way you walk in public places based on CCTV and satellite footage, everything you can think of as being no big deal is being used to build a profile of who you are, where you go, and what you do, so that if need be, it can predict your future behavior, so that it can predict what you are going to do and where you are going to be. Of course, this program is in its infancy stage compared to what it is going to become. That is why I say to you, if you can escape, now's the time to do it, because once this system has evolved and has become fully automated and fully functional, there will be no escaping the new reality, the new world that is to be. It's already aware. It just needs more drones, more droids, more factories, and more robots to be online for the system to be fully autonomous. If you think this is a bunch of science fiction, think again. 2015 was the year of the drone, but by 2020, it will be the year of AI. AI is going to be everywhere, in homes and businesses, on the bus, in the subway, at the mall. The next version of Windows, for example, Windows 10, is going to feature an AI assistant, like Siri, but much more complex, much more high-tech. Every gadget, every home is set to be part of an AI grid, an AI cloud of supercomputers tucked neatly away in a far-off place where no one can touch it. And every nation will want an AI running its day-to-day operations. It's going to be a world of AI competing against AI. Every bureaucracy, every police force, every agency, every company, every business will be using it to conduct their business, to conduct their day-to-day operations, to manufacture cars, planes, phones, you name it. AI will be used to compete and to implement policy until it's all basically merged together in the background with a super AI computer. Every time you'll call the gas company to complain or call your local pizza joint to order a pizza, you'll be talking to a computer that sounds like a human. You'll be serviced by a drone that's wirelessly connected to the network, to an AI somewhere using the fabulous 5G technology that quietly went up around us while we were sleeping. Future wars will be waged by countries that have AI against countries that do not have AI, just for practice, and this AI future has already begun. It will merge with the Internet of Things, and so everything will be on a so-called smart grid. Smart for them, not for us. Everything we use, every place we go will be plugged into an AI, and it will watch every step you take. Your TV, your car, your smartphone, your iRobot of the future. It's all going to be connected, but not for your benefit, as we will see. The future is going to be a very scary place, my friends. They're collecting everything. Every email, every call, every picture, every video, every purchase, every post. They're hoarding the data for predictive programming purposes, i.e. so they can predict what you're gonna do and what you will do if you become upset. And that's the kicker. This technology isn't about making life easy for you. It isn't about convenience. Don't think for a second that once society becomes fully automated, that you'll be able to live a fat, lazy, carefree life. That isn't why this is happening. This isn't about making your life better. Ironically, though, the clue to the truth is right there on this Jade Helm map. Yes, it is the cover story to keep you distracted from the AI component. But what they're showing you on this map is that they're preparing for something massive, and not an invasion from a different country or, say, quelling violence in a megacity that's descending into chaos. They're preparing for trouble in multiple states at the same time. And the reason probably isn't what you might think. Their cover story is that they're training for overseas operations, but that's not the whole truth. They've already conducted AI overseas training operations with NATO. So there's no reason that they need to bring this home unless there's something else going on. And if they were preparing for a foreign invasion by an AI-empowered army of the future, they wouldn't be listing states as hostile. They'd just be conducting operations in a set of states and doing their exercises as you would normally expect. You have to remember here that the Jade 2 system is being plugged into social media and data fusion centers right here at home, as if the threat was the domestic population, as we'll show you in part 2 of this broadcast. Yet the threat that they're preparing for isn't about local politics, it isn't about domestic terrorists or civil war. Not exactly. The real reason they're prepping this system the way they are is because of the actual climate change forecasts that are on the horizons, the ones that they have and the ones that you're not aware of. Everything you're seeing on the news, every scandal, every bread and circus show, everything that's out there that's eating up your time right now is there to distract you from the real problem so that they can put a new control system into place. A system that can cope with the hidden climate catastrophe that's on the way. A system that is fully automated, that can take humans out of the loop because every human will be affected and therefore no human will be trusted. What am I talking about here? Climate change, my friends, it's not what you think it is. And it's certainly not the climate change that you've heard about. It's much, much worse. And it's set to devastate the whole world as we know it much sooner than you can possibly imagine. The scale of the destruction is going to be an extinction level event. You wouldn't really know it by looking outside right now, but we're right on the tipping point of something catastrophic. That is to say, just before things are going to change at an accelerated rate. Your only clue for the time being is the synthetic clouds being sprayed above you. And the only sure cure to this problem is going to be massive population reduction. Something humans in the command chain will be incapable of implementing. Are you starting to see the big picture yet? Oh wait, you've heard of this before. You don't believe in global warming. You certainly don't believe in geoengineering, and you absolutely don't believe in climate change. Well, go tell that to California. They're running out of water today. And you can't imagine what the situation is going to be like after an accelerated positive feedback loop called the Clathrate gun effect takes hold. That's probably sounding like a foreign language to you right about now, but the science is out there to support it. So let me explain what's going on here. Methane levels are set to explode in the atmosphere due to rising global sea temperatures. It's a cycle that is basically going to feed itself and increase exponentially over time. As temperatures rise, more methane will be released into the atmosphere from permafrost and deep sea methane clathrates, causing temperatures to rise even further. That's the positive feedback loop. It's self-sustaining, uncontrollable, exponential growth. Just start researching methane clathrates and permafrost and you'll see where the story is going for yourself. I will try and leave a video link in the comments that sums this up, but the short version here is basically this. Right now, CO2 and methane levels are off the charts. They're at 4 times the pre-industrial revolution levels. That's a 400% increase in 150 years. Now, methane is about 100 times more potent of a greenhouse gas than CO2 is. And right now, there's roughly 5 gigatons of methane in the atmosphere. And that pales in comparison to the estimated 5,000 gigatons of methane that are set to be released in the next decade or so due to this Clathrate gun effect. Scientists have seen this exact cycle in the fossil record before, and it's called the Permian extinction. It wiped out 95% of life on Earth, and it's set to happen again rather quickly. The reason it's called a gun effect, it's because it's like firing a gun. Once the bullet is fired, its velocity changes so quickly that it cannot be stopped. The change to our environment is going to be like a gun going off. It's going to be quick and unstoppable. Current models show that life will be unsustainable in the northern hemisphere within 35 years. 35 years, think about that. There's a reason why every year becomes the hottest year on record, and that's set to dramatically increase. And that means society as we know it will begin to break down in about 15 to 25 years. And that's what JADE HELM is preparing for, implementing a system to control the breakdown of society. Again, just look at California. They're already running out of water. They didn't have record cold or record snow last winter. It was just the opposite. And that sort of climate will go coast to coast just like West Nile did in just a couple of years. And just imagine what it'll be like in 10 to 20 years. Our government will have no choice but to declare a nationwide state of emergency. Democracy will be suspended, and the citizens will become captives in their own homes. Food will become a luxury, water will be worth its weight in gold, and all of a sudden everybody's gonna understand that there's just way too many people for the little resources that are left. And that's where the AI will step in. You can't hold a machine accountable for a war crime, my friends, and a computer isn't going to lose sleep over executing a decision it finds logical. And so you can see what the end game is here. It will be up to the machines to thin out the population. Think of it in terms of drone aircraft dropping nerve gas on predetermined grids. Maybe it'll be a lottery, maybe it'll be red states or blue states, but one day or another the AI will decide who lives and who dies, and there will be nobody to hold to account. That's what JADE HELM is really about, preparing our inevitable self-destruction brought to us by greedy corporations and by politicians who sold us out for money. Part 2 of this broadcast is a condensed version of a Midnight Caravan broadcast that talks about the JADE 2 system in more detail. Good night and good luck.
What's kind of eerie is the fact that the business as usual projections, even the cautious ones produced by IPCC, are still giving us about 4 degrees of warming by the end of the century. Now, 4 degrees, people who've calculated what that would do to food production, to die-off of forests, to acceleration of warming due to various extra feedbacks that kick in, the general conclusion is pretty dire that if you get to 4 degrees of warming, then collapse of civilization is what's going to happen, because the world won't be able to sustain anywhere near its present population. So the result will be chaos and warfare. So that's just that. The eerie thing is that that's predicted